Ken, I usually do intros, but and I usually have like "Welcome to the Art Meets Culture podcast," etc., etc. But we haven't been doing podcasts for a while.
Yeah.
Our last podcast was in 2020 during quarantine, and that's when we were just interviewing so many artists via Zoom. And I said I need to bring the podcast back in a nice way, in a great way, but to start extending the stories of artists who I come across. So yeah, welcome, man. Thank you so much for coming down.
It's a pleasure, man.
All good. So, who are you? Where are you from? And your practice?
Yeah, my name is Ken Nwadiogbu. I am from Nigeria.
Mhm.
I'm from Anambra State, Nigeria, so like the Igbo part of Nigeria.
Yeah, Yoruba here, but
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yoruba demon.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm a Yoruba angel.
I was Igbo angels, man.
I love that, man.
Yeah, lived all my life in Lagos, so I have a bit of Yoruba blood in me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, by association.
Good.
Yeah, I'm the second of two siblings.
Mhm.
And yeah, just a regular guy who came to London 3 years ago. And
Amazing.
trying to figure out himself.
Why London? Obviously, there's a huge Nigerian community in London,
Yeah.
especially in Hackney, Peckham. Where else are we situated? We're everywhere, man.
Canada. But we're in Canada
We're
too.
everywhere. What brought you to London and made you, step out of Nigeria to pursue what you're pursuing?
That's a good question. My mom,
Mhm.
she used to really talk about London because my auntie is in London.
Mhm.
Right? So while we were growing up, like her dream goal for us was to move to London, right? Away from all of that political
Yeah.
and social mess that Nigeria was at that time. So she tried us first with my brother,
Mhm.
to go to school in London, but they basically rejected
Really?
every application. Yeah, so it became a personal thing to us. Honestly, it became really personal, and the moment I started art and I started to make it good in art,
Mhm.
one of my show was in London at the at the Bricklane Gallery.
Okay. Was this a call out for you to come from
Yeah, so this
Nigeria
was
to
this was a call out. But honestly, I had shows in New York before and LA, but I never really made that effort to want to go there. But this was really personal. So when I had a show in London, I asked for an invitation to come for the show, and I was given the invitation.
Amazing.
And I was working with an incredible person at that time, and he kind of wrote me an invitation, and it worked out, and I came to London. And when I came to London, it was just like 2 weeks I stayed in London.
Yeah.
But wow,
That must have been insane, man.
I wanted to come back.
Yeah.
I wanted to come back. It was one of the most memorable 2 weeks of my life, honestly. And I wanted to come back, and I did everything I could to come back.
Good.
Legally.
Yeah, of course. We have our ways, but no, that's beautiful, man. And I always love people who travel out of their comfort zone and wanting to do something different. You can be comfortable sitting in Nigeria and make a living there, but if your visions are seeing beyond, it landed you in London, so God opened the doors for you on that one. So
Thank you.
why art? I mean, obviously being Nigerian myself, not all of our parents, but a lot of our parents want us to have those secured jobs, lawyer, doctor, all these key things. What made you pursue art? And, I feel as though anybody who's of African descendants, they take that brave step into creativity. What made you take that brave step?
Yeah.
And what inspired you as well through it as well?
It's still happening now. You said those days. It's still
Yeah,
a
yeah,
big deal now.
it's still
Yeah,
here.
it's still now.
We still need our doctors though.
Yeah, even to rent an apartment in London, you have to prove that you're in a job.
Yeah.
So it's still a big deal now. But why did I pick it? Amidst all of these stereotypes, and that's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't really know why I did it. I just had a huge passion for it. I was studying engineering. While growing up, my mom would always remind me that I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
If I fix the bulb right, she's like, "Yes, my engineer."
You know?
So there was this obsession to want to be an engineer when I was growing up, and I really did not like the machine part of engineering.
Yeah.
So I wanted a bit more artistic side.
Yeah.
So civil engineering was kind of like a good pursuit for me. So I went into studying civil engineering at the University of Lagos.
Yeah.
And in my first year, I started to draw, started to sketch, really, not really realistic or anything. I started to sketch a lot of things. Now, I used to sketch back in the days because my brother started it when we were in primary school, but it wasn't really anything.
Yeah.
But at this time I started to sketch. So my friends would see me sketch like my lecturers in a caricature way, and they would laugh, and it became a big deal.
Yeah.
And then I'm reading for school, and somebody comes to me and it's like, "Yo, there is someone drawing so much better than you."
So the competition was high in the mind.
Man. So I went to this place and I saw this incredible. Now, it was one of the most incredible drawings. I think that was the moment where I just felt like, okay, that interests me more than engineering. That interests me more than anything I've ever seen, and I want to do that in that way, in that capacity. So I kind of became really obsessed. My obsession kind of drew from engineering to art.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to, before it was just drawing, I just wanted to draw that good.
Yeah.
From drawing that good, I had my friends say, "Yo, we want you to draw our girlfriends, we'll pay you for it," And, I started to take commissions. Drawing my friends' girlfriends, opened a company called Ken Creations. We had a very good logo that I put at the end of the drawings. And then that kind of grew from that to, the moment where I got a DM, finally saying, "Do anything you want to do, and I'm coming to Lagos to buy it."
Wow.
And that was the moment I think I realized that it wasn't just about how lucrative it was at that time. It was the opportunity to do what I wanted to do, which civil engineering won't necessarily give you, because you have to do it exactly how it is planned, in books. But this one was, for the first time, I had the opportunity to think, dream, explore whatever I thought, and actually bring it to life. And somebody is going to be interested in it. And I think that's just how my journey really, really got into the arts.
I love that, because it's like the internet democratized the process for you. It's like, I can draw this, put it out, and someone will message me about it. Whereas the engineering side of things, it's like, you have to do this, you have to do that. But it's like everybody's doing that same thing, because everybody's thinking the same
way,
and they're trying to get that job. There may be 4 jobs just available after there's 30 students going for the same thing.
And engineering is also more about the skill as well. This wasn't about the skill. This was about your thinking power. How can you think beyond, and how can you read, and how can all these things you're reading come together to kind of create something that is just nice.
That's incredible. I mean, we've got a great art scene here. What is the Nigerian, not only the art scene, but what's the creative scene saying out there? I view it from the internet, and I'm seeing a lot of great creatives there. What's it like? What's the energy like out there?
Oh man, it's a crazy energy, man. Oh man. That's one of the reasons why I like to go back. To see my friends and see all the incredible things they're doing. The Nigerian art scene is, oh man, the artists there are incredible. They think beyond. They use crazy materials and things. and they are always beautiful, man.
Mm.
Like always beautiful. And when it's not beautiful, you know, they strive so hard to kind of present it in a very good way.
Yeah.
There is so much content
Yeah.
and message in the work,
Mm.
you know. But the society and the space for art is really bad.
Yeah.
That's what is lacking in Nigeria.
Mm.
So you have more great artists and very few opportunities
Mm.
for these artists to actually be seen or heard,
Mm.
or to actually do what they want to do and have the public kind of
Yeah.
consume it.
Yeah.
So there's few very, 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 very small opportunity.
Mm.
The art scene there, as far as the artists are concerned, is huge. It's
Yeah.
really huge.
No, I've definitely seen, you know, even through ArtX Lagos has their run of some artists there, but it's crazy. It's I always
That's the thing. Artist Lagos is not even Nigerian artists now.
it's a mixture of everybody from Africa.
Yeah, so I can't even tell you to look at Artist Lagos, even though I love what they do, but I can't tell you to look at them to see Nigerian art. Like,
that's very interesting.
it's crazy that I can't even think of one thing.
Yeah.
Or one fair I can tell you to go to that you'd see a plethora of incredible artists in Nigeria. And that's why I say the scene is so bad.
Okay.
Because there is
very
no
good
proper
insight.
documentation.
Because you've I have an idea, but anyway, we'll talk off camera.
Yeah. So just to finalize it, so there's so many artists. There's few opportunities, but you kind of see that. You kind of see them through Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
Currently,
loads, bro. When I mean there's loads. The DMs, as soon as they found out I was Nigerian, the DMs I was getting, it was just like, could you check out my art? Ade, could you check out my art? I'm like, there's so many of you. And it's like, I understand, like I speak to them, you know, whether it be on the phone or a quick Google call, and it's just like, their setups are just humble, but they just, their skill level is so high. It's so high where it's just like, how are you doing this with all this like chaos? Nepa's taking like everything, you know what I mean? But they're so focused on it, do you know, which I love. And, you know, I always look at the political climate of Nigeria and think like the amount of young people, like I think, like, I'm not too sure, I might be wrong, like Nigeria has most of the youngest people in the continent of Africa. Yeah. Why aren't they tapping into that just to kind of unearth something new in Nigeria and almost build like a new Nigeria? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. The politicians are all, don't kill me all, they're all a little bit you know, older and stuck in certain ways, but this new fresh energy that's there is just like, can we uplift, you know, more young people who are doing amazing things? Like the music is going crazy. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? The artists are going fashion is going crazy. Like, hello? Do you know what I mean? We're here. So do you think, you know, there needs to be change in that governmental space, you know, to, you know, enhance Nigerian creatives?
Bro, no matter how much and how often and how I said this in like all my interviews, I keep saying the same thing, but I think I'm done saying that. You know, no matter how much I say there's gonna be change in the government space, there will never be change in the government space. So currently now, I'm more looking at what we can do as Nigerians, you know, and how we can learn from, you know, this Western world, you know, this Western space, and see how they've done it. Because I'm sure that the government wasn't really paying attention to all of that. And even if they were, there is still a huge number of artists and creatives here and in America and these certain places who are actually doing something to change their space and the society. And it's just left for Nigerians to do the same. You know, for example, I know this incredible artist, Uche Joachima, who is currently building a museum in Nigeria.
I think I did see that. Yeah.
I also know Dotun Popola, who is building the Scrap Museum in Nigeria.
Wow.
I know some artists who are building galleries in Nigeria. I know some artists who are collecting Nigerian artists. I collect Nigerian artists as well.
Amazing.
I know some artists who are opening up their studio to allow for other artists to grow, you know, which I did when I was in Nigeria. So it's like, we are the people who are going to channel and push Nigeria to the next level. We can't just keep waiting for these
100%.
and these people, because they will never think about us. They will always be very self-sustaining. They want to think about how to grow, how they need to grow, how their family and the community around them grows. They don't think of the broader, narrative. And so it's left to us, honestly. So many artists and so many people now. Ifeanyi Wunye, who's a very good friend, is doing the VVS Lagos, which is like a fashion and art collaboration. I can keep going on and on and on, man. And it's just left for us to do it.
Yeah, we're sick, bro. I always say, like, Nigerians are elite, and I think the more we come together and highlight that, like, consistently, I think people will know what type of force we're about.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And it's a huge force, bro.
Oh, trust me.
See what happened in the music industry, man. Like, the music industry, they showed us how to do it. Like, before, like, artists, like visual artists, weren't really concerned with how to do it. Like, we were just really, really hoping for, these galleries to open their minds and start to actually do something. But we realized that galleries were very profit oriented. Very profit. They weren't really interested in propagating or pushing the African message or the Nigerian message to art. So, but we saw music. It changed. Right. Rema is doing
insane.
Like Charlie Poppy is doing it. And, you look at that and you're so inspired to dream of what the art space could be in the next 5 to 10 years. If we could channel and put in that much effort like these musicians have done.
Listen, I'm even thinking about it now. Hence why, doing the stuff in Art Meets Culture, we do a lot of stuff here, and I'm grateful to all the artists here. But I think the deep side of me is always just like, go back home. You need to do something. I haven't been in a long time. Dad, I'm coming. But like, to do something there, it will be, phenomenal for me, especially with the artists who want to cross over in that mainstream space. But I usually tell them, look, you can do it with the audience that you have on social media. There's going to be someone who's, going to buy your art at a certain price. You know what I mean? It may not be the gallery, but you may build an audience strong enough where you kind of rival the gallery in terms of audience attraction. So
we in 2017 or 16, 2016, I think, I organized something called the Artist Connect. I and Fola David.
Amazing.
Which currently Fola David is kind of breaking the world record for the biggest joint in the world.
Wow.
Currently in Nigeria, as we speak.
Still going.
He's still going.
I need to check it out.
I hope he breaks the record because that would be a big...
See, Nigerians' ambitions.
Yeah, bro. Ambitions, bro. The largest joint in the world. But I saw it. It was a stadium. They're doing it in a stadium.
Wow.
Man, and... I was just looking. We had a conversation. I was just like, "Bro, you're wild." He had this dream since 2019.
Wow!
And he's been chasing the dream till now. And
incredible.
Now he can. I don't know if it's 2019. Let me not quote him wrongly, but he's chased it to this point where he can do it.
Yeah.
But we organized this thing in 2016 called the Artist Connect.
Yeah.
And in Artist Connect, we invited like a lot of artists around the whole of Nigeria to come and connect in some way, and we did it in Lekki Leisure Lake, which we didn't get permission for, and it was a whole lot of bullshit, but it was such a very beautiful experience, brother. Like a lot of people came and we made friends and family from that. That's why I met Arinze, that's why I met Oscar Ukonu, that's why I met Ayonfe Olarinde, Yusufa, like all of these people who are huge now in the Nigerian art space. That's where we kind of came together, so that kind of showed me the power of community building and bringing people together, especially artists together, to do something, and how coming together kind of empowers every one of us to kind of push on, because when one person is feeling down and he sees this person going, and then you have a conversation with this person, your spirit is immediately sparked up, and then you go on again. And I think that's what the Nigerian art space is kind of needing at this moment.
That's incredible, man. And I think it echoes, to the stuff that we're doing here, just creating an ecosystem where everybody can get resources, know that they're backed, and just build that together. Skill wise, like your work, visually stunning. I'm gassing you, but visually epic. I always viewed your stuff on Instagram, but then I saw it at the Top Boy exhibition, and I was just like, this guy is cold, bro, cold. So, what is the story behind, you know, the window? I almost see these as windows. Like, what is the story behind that, and the concept behind your work?
Yeah. So I came from a Christian family, and my mom used to believe in the presence of the soul in a person.
Yeah.
And she always believed that everyone was a protagonist in their story. You know, we are always like, we have this thing where we say, what they call it, the main character.
Main character syndrome.
The main character syndrome. But it's not supposed to be a syndrome. It is actually the truth.
Yeah.
Everyone is the main character in their movie, you know. You either become the person who makes it, or your movie ends in very. You have to see your life as a movie and kind of design
Ready Player One.
You know,
status.
designing how you want it, how we want it to be designed. So she always had that mentality, and she took it to us as kids. So everything I want to do, I always do it with the main character mindset. Like, I want to be the main person in this place. You know, I want to be the main. I want to, if I'm learning how to draw, I want to learn how to draw so good.
Yeah.
If I'm learning how to paint, I want to learn how to paint so good that if you put it in any space, it has the main character syndrome in some way, you know? So that's basically what channels me to go beyond in my skill and go beyond in my representation as well. I have some works that I don't even show. I just put in my studio because I feel like they don't carry the main character in some way.
This is you know, the second character of the film. I don't think you need to be
like,
here. Yeah. I need
like,
main characters
know,
only.
right?
Yeah.
It's like the NPC.
Yeah.
But yeah. So one thing that happened when I was growing up was that I almost lost my eye. I was playing with my brother at in the house, and we had a small house when I was growing up, and I was running trying to find an escape, and I hit a door handle and it pierced through my eye. Yeah, so I couldn't see with this eye for like a couple of months. And when I could see, you know, because the down part had been like messed up, so my eyes became a bit wider, right, and you know, people would insult me with it, you know, my friends, you know, we were young at that time, so we didn't even know what was going on, so they would call me Cyclops, you know, because my eyes would get red easily. Crazy. I started wearing glasses and stuff to kind of cover it up, but you know, the main character energy came in again, you know, if you know, while these things were going on, my mom would say, you know, it's the bigger your eyes, the more you see. The bigger your eyes, the stronger your soul, you know. So when I started to make paintings, you know, it was a no-brainer, honestly. I wanted to just represent people and color the eyes, and the eye kind of sees through different things, isn't it? Like, you can have a beard on your face, you can do a nose surgery, lip surgery, liposuction, you can change your ears, but the eyes are almost the same, like for the rest of your life. And you know, when you look at someone eye to eye, it's almost like an energy kind of connects. Sometimes you want to put your head down and look around, you know. So the eye is some way carries some kind of energy. So in my paintings, to kind of represent this main character, I started to kind of, you know, put motifs on the eyes, like kind of put attention to the eyes, and then that became a layer in a layer, because then you see the main painting, and then the eye takes you to a different layer of the painting, and you know, that just kind of works for me and worked for the kind of conversations I was trying to talk about, which was very social and political, and you know, very much about community building and identity, because then if you know yourself more, you understand layers and layers of who you are.
And those messages you mentioned, the social and political side of things, what type of stories do you want to tell through your works with those two subjects?
Just Fela said art is the way of life. So if Fela is not, it's not, living in a high-rise building, he cannot necessarily sing about high-rise.
Yeah.
He's not driving a Bugatti. He can necessarily sing about Bugatti. All he sings about is what's happening with him, because then he's giving you the truth of his life, of the representation of his life, and he's bringing you in. And now what happens is that you feel that, and in some way you connect with it, because in one way or the other you feel the same thing, you've experienced the same thing. So these stories are basically my life in some way. I experience something, I see something, I feel something, I talk about it. And I used to do that with the intention that nobody's going to get it, but working with time, and you tend to understand that everyone goes through the same thing, just in different perspectives. So that kind of drew me into speaking about my life and who I am, where I belong in this world. Coming to London, what does it mean for a Nigerian to come to London? What are the challenges that I have to face? Is it love? Is it housing? Is it the stress? What is it? Is it politics? Is it security? All of these things are things that I started to kind of unravel in my life or in my experience, and I started to paint it. But then I'll paint someone else. But in some way, that person I'm painting has gone through the same thing. Because like conversations like this, I get to understand who you are, and I get to see some things, and I take some pictures, and then that becomes the subject or the what the work is about. So it's that's why I don't paint all the time, because it takes a while for the idea to kind of grow and develop, but eventually these are things that I kind of experience, and these are things that other people I feel have experienced as well.
I do like that you don't paint for painting's sakes, and you're not tied to the algorithm that say, hey, you got to paint today or people forget you. I think there's like even the way you expressed your process, there's something deeper behind it. It's just like, if I'm going to show you this, I need to show you the deeper layer of that. Do you know what I mean? And I saw it in the painting in Somerset House. Who's the character? Very bad. I'm forgetting. Stefan. And it's just like, you're seeing the one part of him, but you're seeing that other side of him that's a little bit more darker. Do you know what I mean? But you knew what he was one season ago, when he was a little bit more innocent and stuff like that. And then he just had to embrace this dark side in front, but within is still Stefan. Do you know what I mean?
I like the idea that you figured that out.
Of course. I definitely look at that.
They sent me the script, like not the script, but
The
they sent
briefing.
me like a short information about the final season, and I'm like, wait, Stefan? Wait, how did Stefan go from that?
How did he go to the villain? Yeah.
And it was just something about the innocence of a thug in some way. You don't become wicked.
No.
Because you want to. Something drove you to that. But deep inside, there's an innocent part of you.
100%.
And I feel like everyone has that. So once they gave me the stuff and I read it, and I was like, this I have to portray. I have to carefully, because I had to go back to the previous season. I had to almost watch like season 3 again. I had to go back to season and really understand. And I saw some part where Stefan is almost crying. In the previous season, and I wanted to, just reflect that innocence in his eyes, but then reflect this anger, outside.
Because it's pain, bro. It's like, because I grew up in Hackney, and I've seen a lot of. It's like, you even looking at my daughter now, and she ain't gonna be on this road thing, but it's like you just see innocence, and you're thinking, how do you then grow up to feel this or become that? And it's like, I've seen a lot of the younger kids and the boys who I used to grow up with and stuff like that. It's like they were innocent. We were all playing football. We all watched Power Rangers, and then one day it shifts for you, and then you're just this top guy on road. But then you start talking to a few of them, and you realize mental health in the family,
Yeah.
poverty, all these struggles that has fueled them to become,
That
you know,
person.
this person. But when you talk to them, it's like, yo, remember when you used to watch?
Yeah.
It's like you can still see the innocence, but
Yeah.
you know, this new persona that they've built is to protect them and, you know, make them survive in this world that they're, you know, about to go through.
Yeah, there's one of my friend who I was painting a box. You know, the boxes idea.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Migration idea. So I went to paint my friend who is like, who has been, you know, kind of portraying this, you know, I'm a top boy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm violent. You know.
Yeah.
And I painted him in pink.
What did he say?
Oh man, he was furious.
Yeah.
One day, I'm not gonna mention him so that he doesn't get upset. But one day, this guy starts to cry because of his girl, and I'm like, wait, huh? you have emotions, man.
Yeah.
It's just that, you know, sometimes you have to really take it in.
Yeah.
You know, and portray this, you know, this fearful person. But back home, back in your space, you like you are this meek, you know, quiet, you know, I just want to watch movie and eat, you know, and drink my champagne or something.
Yeah, feel a bit free.
Yeah, feel a bit free, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it's interesting, man. And you know, I always look forward to seeing more of your work that explores that. Even the social media ones you did as well.
Yeah.
I remember that, you know, even though that feels like it was the logos, but then there was the persona within it. Yeah, it's quite deep.
Yeah, I started playing with African motifs at that time.
Yeah.
I realized when I saw the motifs, I thought they were just you know, symbols.
Yeah.
I started seeing meanings in the symbols, and I'm like, wow, like these can be interpreted in an art piece where you see through the motif and see a person that kind of embodies the meaning of the symbol, and I just kind of went for it.
Good, man. So like, who are your inspirations, you know, in this art space, whether it's in art or in other mediums?
Well, my inspirations have always changed. It has gone from David Hockney to Basquiat to Njideka Akinle, but currently now I'm really, really fascinated by Victor Ikemeno's work. He's a Nigerian artist. He's a big man. He's just thinking large scale, man.
Yeah.
He's just thinking huge experience. I don't think I've ever gone for any of his exhibitions. He had one in Gagosian, which was such a very touching work, you know. I love the magnitude. I love how he thinks and how he projects what he wants to project, and that's the kind of thing I want to do as an artist. I just want to make paintings. I want to make an experience. I want people to get into my space and feel something, you know, and go back and, you know, tremble at it or talk about it, you know. Another person is Nengi Umoku, incredible artist as well. She kind of started to push me down the direction of using materials as well, and painting on anything. You know, I remember Basquiat's work. Basquiat would paint on the fridge, on the door, on the table, on the chair. You know, and it was more of like the expression. You know, painting on a canvas and painting on the table. Basically should mean different things. It doesn't it? Like the material in itself is a conversation starter, you know, and it can project something that a canvas will not project, you know. So Nengi kind of showed me that. She kind of pushed me into understanding, you know, what it means to use all these different materials, pre-colonial textiles, and all of these things. And then, you know, artists like Ken Nwadiogbu, artists like so many artists. One of my favorite artists, Kerry James Marshall.
This one cold.
God, it's
cold, man.
Like I've been any time I see Kerry James Marshall in anywhere, any museum close to me, I'm picking my bags and I'm going. My God, like his the skill, you know, is so fascinating. You can't see any errors, and I think that came from him kind of being an illustrator, you know, doing like I won't say cartoons, but like doing like illustrations. and you could see the skill, and as well the narrative is so powerful.
Yeah.
The reason for the paint, the paint combination is so incredible. And from him I saw Titus Kafa's work, and that's another mind-blowing work, because Titus Kafa's work, he showed me, was that the artist is not tied to the style.
Yeah.
You can create 10 million styles, but you will know the artist from the finger, from the way he uses the brush,
even textures, everything,
the brush
yeah,
strokes, the texture, the and sometimes the motifs that he would kind of represent in his work. So many inspirations from a lot of places, but all of it kind of comes together in my work to kind of push me to do something different.
Yeah. You mentioned narrative, and that triggered another question in my mind. A lot of artists that I've seen on social don't paint with, I mean, they do paint with some form of narrative, but that narrative is based on whatever's trending. More of an advice question to artists. Like, do you feel as though they need to stop painting for the algorithm and find something else that's meaningful? It's sort of like the current, even though I don't like talking about trendy topics on podcasts, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, one is a purist, one is for the charts, and that constant chucking out of content, and one saying, hey, I'm going to build this amazing piece of work, it's about this is the concept. You get the same concept in shows. Do you feel like people need to focus on that form before they chase the algorithm form?
Okay, so we jammed to Drake, man. Oh man,
we still love Drake, don't worry.
Oh, we love Drake. If we love Drake and we love Kendrick Lamar, does it not mean that there is a space for everybody to kind of thrive? I think artists should take some time. That's all I could think. I took some time, and it helped me so much. And I realized I always take time, especially when I travel. Artists should travel, take some time away from the work, think, explore. Something will come to them. And I think artists should not always kick out what comes to them because it doesn't fit into what they're doing. I used to do that when I started in my work, I started art. I used to feel like I needed to paint like this.
Yeah.
And so any other ideas that came, I either share with other friends so that they can kind of take it, or I'll kick it out from my head. And it's made me really regret it, because I know that I had so many good ideas that I could have just kind of started to build on now. I think artists should take some time and think. If they want to do the algorithm, fine, it's what they want to do. That's what art is. There's a good side and a bad side of art. The bad side of art is that it accepts whatever you're gonna do. It's inclusive. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't say no this and this, no that. That's why you see so many art that you're like, why is this even an art in the first place? Right. But I think that art needs to exist, for you to see a good grade of what art can be. It's like color. You see a shade of a color in different shades, and then you can understand the higher shade and the lower shade. You need to see art in that palette. This kind of art, this kind of art, this kind of art. Then you can figure out what kind of art speaks to you. Nobody's saying consume all the art that is created, but enjoy what you want to enjoy, while other people enjoy what they want to enjoy. But I just feel like everybody should create what they want to create, and I feel like every artist should take some time to think of what they want to create. Once we think of what we want to create, even if we're creating for the algorithm in some way, even if they are creating for the algorithm, because I really don't care about that. But even if they are creating for the algorithm, they are making better decisions in how to go about it.
I think there's a place for both. They're building their audience, and that sort of audience loves what they do. And then you've got the purist audience, who would love what you do and everything like that.
Yeah, you can't play. You can't always play Kendrick Lamar in the club, or you always play Drake in the club.
Yeah.
You know, you
Mm.
can't always play Burna Boy in the club, but you always play Davido in the club. And then when you're
Something for
chilling with
somewhere.
your girl,
Mm.
you play Wizkid in the space. They. I'm not saying you can't play Burna Boy. I'm not saying you can't
Yeah,
play
yeah,
Burna
yeah.
Boy in the club, but I'm just like they have their own.
There's a vibe for
There's a vibe
everything.
for everything.
Yeah, and I think
And
it's good to have variety.
yeah.
And I think that's appreciative. So, do you do your work in order to get to that gallery standard? Are you looking for a gallery to represent you, pick up your work and take it to the next level? Or do you view yourself as, look, I'm my own brand, I'm my own entity, and I know where I can take it without a gallery?
That's a very tough question. Why it's a tough question is because I kind of do both. I know I'm a brand, and I know that I can take my work and my craft to any level.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is a kind of security that comes with being with a gallery, doesn't it? There's a kind of respect and in the art space that comes with you being with a gallery. So I think for me it's like a mixture of both worlds. How can I be with a gallery but still function and exist as a brand?
Yeah.
How do I not let the gallery carry all the burden of promoting me and pushing me to the next level?
Yeah.
How can myself as a brand collaborate and do my own things and push myself to the next level? So I think it's a mixture of both things. I'm not gonna lie and say gallery representation is not important. Yes, in as much as we want to believe that it's not, there's a kind of I don't know if I call it respect or something that comes with being.
It's credibility,
credibility,
which I agree with.
Exactly.
You can, go to the route of, let me be free, let me do this and secure the audience that you need to secure. But when you're in that gallery space and people hear your name, they're like, oof, what's next? Oof, I want to collect the next piece. There's a feeling, there's some credible nature to it. So credibility is definitely the word.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer of merging two things together.
Yeah.
I studied engineering, but I was doing art. But they told me you have to pick one. Either you do engineering or you do art. I finished engineering while I was doing art.
Yeah.
I merged the two things together because I was like, well, who makes the laws?
Yeah.
They say do abstract or do realism. Well, I mixed it together.
Yeah.
Who makes the laws?
Yeah.
Right? They say that you with the gallery or that you do your thing, but I mix them together. Who makes the laws?
Yeah.
So if you want to be with a gallery, you can be with a gallery at the same time. You can build a brand at the same time. You can do that. Just make sure that there is still a very strong vision of your future and where you want to be as an artist.
Yeah,
that's what
100%. And I always encourage you to explore, and I think you're doing amazingly well in that sense. What artists are on the come up are you paying attention to right now who's actually building and doing great things?
Yeah. My guy Wasiu Eshinloku. Wasiu Eshinloku
is he based in Niger?
Yeah, based in Niger. Yeah, great artist. Great artist. He just started this new body of work, man. I was like, I had to call him, and I was like, oh man, this is sick.
Incredible.
Yeah, Ima Odumade. Ima Odumade, funny enough, has been. You might say, this is a very. I'm just mentioning him because he's very close to me. But his work is just incredible, man. It's just sick. And then my contemporaries as well. People like I met Xavier as well recently.
I love Xavier, man.
Miles, incredible artist. Miles doesn't necessarily do paintings, but there is a way he does his art that kind of interests you. It's about he can use furnitures and then reimagine furnitures in a very cool way, and that just changes your perspective, doesn't it? Yeah, just so many artists. I have so many. The names are just bumbling in my head like so
there's
quick.
tons, man.
There are tons of artists, but I'm mostly very particular about the young artists.
Yeah.
Ima Odumade, Wasiu Eshiloku, who else? Yusufa, that's another great artist. Ayọ̀fẹ́ Ọláwìndé, she's been great since only God knows when, and she's still killing it, you know. But these are people who have the passion for art, and who that have been doing it for years, and have not just been doing one thing, they've been growing through it. You look at your work 5 years ago and look at your work now, and you'd see a lot of research and understanding that has been put into the work that has brought it to this position. So I think that's one of the things that I really like in an artist. I'm not too quick to judge the artist by looking at the work quickly. I take my time, you know. Of course, there are some artists I love from the Royal College of Art, where I did my painting, my master's degree. Artists like Jesse Akele, like Okiki, like Hetty Innes, and like so many great artists. So there's just a lot of artists. If I keep mentioning artists,
listen, the list is listing, and I'm just like, I don't know that one. I need to research that to ask him about this. And I think, having conversations like this, letting me know about some artists, but okay, cool, maybe we can help them or do X, Y, Z. Just how do we expand our industry, making people know more about these artists without it, I mean, Instagram helps, but what else can we do to facilitate, to make their experience a great experience for everybody else's experience?
Exactly.
Exactly,
true.
What was my other question? I was going to land the last question, but I said no, there should be another question in play. But we can go with this question. Advice to artists. A lot of them will watch, will listen, and wonder, look, how do I really do this thing? I'm having trouble talking to galleries. I'm crap at networking, but I want my work to be out there and, and change my life essentially and make a living. Like, what advice or top 3 advice would you give them?
That's a good question as well. Matt, you've been asking some good questions recently. Well, I used to give myself 3 advices. They might not. Now, one thing, I like to, when I watch things like this, I like to pick some certain things and not really care about certain things. So it's important for people to know that what I'm going to say might not go with everyone, right? So just pick what you need to pick.
There is no generic advice.
There's no generic advice. So the first one is, no one knows what they're doing. Literally, man. The moment I realized that nobody knew what they were doing, I felt like I could be the greatest man in the world.
Everyone's winging it.
Everyone is winging it, man.
Trust me.
Oh my God. When you get into a space, like, you think that Nike got everything figured out. Get into Nike first. You see all of them like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We have no idea. Should we try this? Let's try it. Oh, it works. It is just, man, like, being at the RCA, man, I realized no one knows what they're doing, man. Like, everyone is winging it. And everyone is trying everything that they can think of. Everything. Like, you think, oh, should I reach out to this gallery? Oh, man, no. Maybe that's not how Ken did it. Man, reach out to the gallery, bro. It could work. I've reached out to galleries before, but of course it didn't turn out anywhere good. But
you got to swim for the nose, man. You got to swim for the nose and catch a W.
So, get the nose, man. Get the nose, man. Like, you know how many no's I've gotten? I've applied for residencies, competitions. I've been like, in fact, I was discussing with someone like 3 days ago, and she was like, "Oh, I hate when you get the email, and then you're like, we received 1,000. Oh my God!
But unfortunately,
they're like, please keep in touch with us. All of that. Yeah,
generic emails.
no
I
one
got
knows what.
one of those a couple of days ago for saying you triggered something in my soul,
Like,
man. But
I
it was
know,
just like, you know, you see them, but it's just how you react off of them. It's like,
yeah,
do you take it in and be like, oh yeah, they don't love me and stuff like that? But you keep going, you know what I mean? So
yeah. If you apply for a lot,
yeah,
it becomes almost like reading a script, doesn't it?
yeah.
Oh no, fortunately,
Mhm.
whatever. I'm waiting for the other one. Oh no, fortunately, whatever. I'm waiting for the other one.
Yeah.
So I think if we just keep applying, it becomes a normal thing. Like someone said, be used to the nose.
Yeah.
Be used to it, because it's one of the most. It's the scariest part of being whatever you want to be. The nose. You have this idea. Someone says, no, it's shit. Be used to that.
Yeah.
Don't react to that. I used to react to that before. When somebody does not like my work, I'm like, who are you to not like my work? But yes, it's okay for someone not to like the work, So be used to that.
Yeah.
The second thing I would say is,
I think
kindness.
the third thing. We said what was the first one?
This was the first one.
No, was that the first one?
Yeah, this was the first one.
Okay, cool. That was a strong first one.
Yeah.
Okay, second one. Sorry, apologies.
Yeah, the second one is just kindness and being and love.
Yeah.
It's very underrated in the art industry. Everyone feels like you have to be wicked or be, as an artist, you have to be aggressive and arrogant. You don't have to be. You're not just giving people an experience of the work, you're giving the people an experience of you yourself as well. You want to have people say, oh, he's a wonderful person. So just be kind and love one another. And then the third one is join a community, man. Join something. Like there is this preconception or this idea that artists are lonely and should be in their space.
So dark,
dark,
moody,
and then their hair should be like crazy. Nah, man, join a community, meet people, talk to people. You don't have to lie and fake it. Find people that you really find interesting and just join their community. Be part of what they do. Go for lunch with them. Go to see shows with them. It might not necessarily lead to anything, but it just makes you feel a bit more calmer about your profession, and it gives you people, it brings people around you where you can ask certain questions and get their thoughts. Right. And that's very important in that space.
Yeah, that's incredible. I think even for us, we've joined probably so many communities now where everything feels a little bit more, okay, we've got support here, we can lean to this person. It's like you've got a team, quote unquote, without saying I'm paying salaries. But when the situation happens that, hey, I need this, I can do it, I can't do it, you get to lean on people just a little bit, and you're not feeling alone. So the final question. What can we expect from you, in the near future? What have you got on currently? Where does Ken go from here?
That's a very good question. I'm everywhere recently. I'm just everywhere. I'm having some really cool exhibitions coming up. I'm building something that might be publicized by the end of this year. It's part of the migrant sculpture that I built in Miami, but it's like a very cool way to imagine it again.
Amazing. And this is for Basel, right?
I'm not gonna.
Okay, we don't do
say anything about that. But, what else? I met this incredible photographer and cinematographer, and we shot our first video last week. And I'm interested in shooting videos because I used to be a video director. I used to direct videos for many musicians like Buju back in Nigeria, Savage, who is in the UK, Oxlade. I don't know if you know Oxlade. I used to direct videos, but I kind of stopped it because the team I was working with at that time they were anyways,
Yeah, it's a
but
long story.
it's a long story.
Mm.
But I met these cool people, and I think I'll just be exploring art videos, not
Yeah.
necessarily like music videos, but
Yeah.
videos that kind of portray a narrative or
Yeah.
a context or a concept, not ladies dancing,
Yeah.
people spraying money like that.
Enjoyment.
Yeah, man. Like, and that was that's the reason why I actually stopped making videos, because I was making it for musicians,
Yeah.
and all they wanted was a Lamborghini
Yeah,
and
same
some girls dancing, and and the camera going, and I'm like, why would I do that? I want to create art. And if you look at my videos, they are very much artistic than very flashy.
Yeah, and formulaic.
Yeah, and they didn't like it, honestly, but. I think one of them has like 3 point something million views now. Means that people watch it.
Yeah.
But I want to do more of that. I want to make very cool videos like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but many things I do now are always under the NDA law, non-disclosure agreement. So it's when the time comes that people actually look at it. Yeah.
Okay. Incredible. Ken, absolute legend, man.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I'm happy, we've launched the podcast again, and I said if we're going to get a guest on, we got to get Ken.
Yeah.
Make something happen. So yeah, no, thank you, man. Really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
All right,
so much.
legend. Cool.
Bless.
Awesome.